Hey, this is Mark suffering in for Des with the Weekend Report for March the 1st, 2013. Well, Des again is down at Mexico City getting ready to do our mentoring weekend out in Mexico City at our first Spanish-speaking session. And we had 40 people signed up, so he's going to have his hands full. Well, let's take a look at what the broad markets did today. Look at the numbers. First of all, the S&P was up 0.23. The Dow Jones Industrials up 0.25. The NASDAQ up 0.30, and small caps were up 0.40. And bank at plus 0.2 did confirm what went on in the S&P today. VIX was down just about 1%, which also confirms the up move today. And the commodities did not take the tank that they did yesterday. We're a little bit mixed, although I did notice that oil did close below $91 a barrel. And if you noticed, again, the dollar was up slightly, which does not confirm our move in the upward there. And the trend was right at in the neutral zone. Okay, well, let's take a look at the S&P today. This is the daily chart. And again, we had said earlier in the week how this 15-20 line was going to come into play. And sure enough, today, the high of the day, if you look right here, was 1519.99. I don't think that was by accident. And then it did close just a little bit off of the high of the day. So we are still in this tight range here. We have not broken out quite yet on this first day of March. Now let's take a look at the weekly chart for the S&P. And we've had 8 out of the last 9 weeks have been up weeks, including this week. Oh, look at that. Quite the shadow down here midweek. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. And looking very bullish here, a little bit of a high base breakout here on the monthly chart. Although, if you notice, they are getting smaller and smaller. Now, this is just the first day of the month. We have to look at February here as a closed month. Let's not even look at that one right now. Okay, let's take a look next at the Dow. It's the daily chart on the Dow, and as you can see, it's right at that 14,000 line. It did pop up here, but just, we did recover a little bit from yesterday's tease. And then let's take a look at the weekly chart for the Dow. Here's the weekly chart for the Dow. It too, 8 out of the last 9 weeks have been up weeks. And this week in particular, it did do break out from that high base on the weekly chart. Let's take a look at it on the monthly side. Here it is monthly. It too, yes, again, not pay attention to this one here. But yeah, it looks like we're starting to break out from that high base on the monthly chart, which is very bullish. Next we have the NASDAQ. Here's the NASDAQ on the daily chart. It did come up here to that 3,200 area and has pulled back and has not broken out yet again. Still kind of consolidating down here. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. This is the NASDAQ weekly chart, and as you can see, it has come up and it actually started to roll over here 2 weeks in a row of down weeks. This is not good. Let's take a look at the monthly. On the monthly side, again, not paying attention to today, it was a doji month last month, possible reversal pattern on this rising wedge here. Again, don't count this one. It's only 1 day's worth of data on the monthly. All right, let's take a look at the small caps, the Russell 2000. Here's the daily chart, and it ran up and is pulled back, and again, it hasn't quite made the turn yet to go bullish again. And take a look down here at the MACD. It is these two peaks are descending. This is thunder in the distance that perhaps it has run out of gas. As a matter of fact, if we take a look back at the NASDAQ, same thing. If we take a look at the S&P 500, same thing. So we do have some thunder in the distance that perhaps we are at the top of this run and we may need to be preparing for a pullback. Well, back to the small caps. Here's the weekly chart on the small caps. It did a nice run up, but then, 2 weeks it's pulling back on here. So let's be paying attention to that. And then on the monthly, again, don't pay attention to this last one. Here's the monthly chart. But it did break out, but not, look at these, smaller candle here, not including the last one. That was today only. If your trading isn't where you want it to be this year, you can come join us on a free webinar we're going to have this week coming up. It's going to be here, upcoming events. So you go to the site, right here, and you just tag on it, and it's going to be 101 Trading Foundations trading this Wednesday at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Now, you just need to register for it right here, and if you go to that page, down here's a description of it. And be sure you register right here, because if you can't make it, you'll still get a recording of that event. Well, this is Mark the Meerkat Suffering here. Just remember what Albert Hubbard said. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to continually be afraid you're going to make one. Trade safe and trade well.